In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make Max's shoes, just like here. So we're going to start with some white yarn. We're also going to be using blue, navy blue and red yarn. You're going to need a permanent marker, and I've also got a piece of plastic. This is just a butter lid. And you'll need a tapestry needle to weave in your ends, a stitch marker, your crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and we can make a start. So we're going to take our white yarn first for the base of our shoes, and I'm just going to start by chaining 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Once we have chained 7, we're going to go down to the second chain on the hook, and we're going to put in a increase. Oops. Of a single crochet. So you're going to put 2 single crochets in that first stitch. Once you have done that, you're then going to do 4 single crochets, 2, 3, and 4. Once we have our 4 single crochets, we're going to do a triple increase into the next stitch. So we go into our stitch and we're going to put 3 single crochets into that same stitch. Once we've done that, we're going to be working this side of our shoe, and we are going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Once we get to this point, you should have 14 stitches around here. We're going to start our second round, so I'm going to put my stitch marker in here so that I know that that was my last stitch. I'm going to put 2 single crochets into the next stitch. There's 1 and there's 2. Then I'm going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we have our 4 single crochets, we're going to put 3 single crochets into the next stitch. So 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Then we're going to go into our next stitch and we're going to put an increase in there. So we're going to put 2 crochets in that stitch. We're then going to repeat this. So 1, 2, and then 2 into the next stitch. Now we're back at where we started, and then we are going to do, I'm going to take my stitch marker out so I know that I'm back at the start, and then I'm going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once we've got our 5 single crochets, we're going to do a further increase. So we're going to put 2 single crochets into the next stitch, like so. Then we're going to put a single crochet in every single stitch now until we get back to this stitch. So I'll do my first single crochet and then I will put in my stitch marker. And then I'm just going to go around and do 26 single crochets in every stitch. Okay, so once we've finished our stitches, we are then going to join with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to leave my loop on my hook. I'm going to pull it quite large, and then I'm going to lay my shoe onto my plastic. I'm just going to do a quick sketch around my shoe. This is obviously going to be bigger than the shoe because I'm going around it, so I will make it smaller in a moment. So it's just to give me an idea. So now I can make that a fair bit smaller, like so. And then once I have that shape, I'm then going to cut it out with some scissors. I'm now going to take my navy blue yarn and I'm going to tie on inside of my shoe, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail for when I want to join on my next colour. I can use this to join on the red. So pull that nice and snug. I'm now going to insert my hook back into the yarn, bring this down as far as I can, and close my stitch. So once I've cast on my yarn, I'm going to work in the back loop only, and I'm going to do 26 single crochets all the way around in the back loop. Once we have got to there, I'm just going to put in one more single crochet just to crochet over the top of that stitch, just to hide it a little. And then once I've done that, I'm then going to attach my red yarn, and I'll attach it to the blue here. Once again, I'm going to make sure that it is nice and tight. And then I'm going to feed through my red yarn. And then I'm going to be doing 26 single crochets into the tops of those stitches. once you've got to that point, we're now going to do 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we've got our 9 stitches, we are then going to do 6 decreases. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to, at this point, put my base back in, else my bottom will get too tight. And then once I have got to that point, I'm going to put in 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once we've got our 5 single crochets, we're going to start on our next row or our next round, and we're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do 8 decreases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That should now give us a total of 12 single crochets. So our next row is just going to be that 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once we've done that, we are then going to change to the white, and with the white we're going to work in our back loop only, and we're going to do 12 single crochets in our back loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can now join with a slip and bring back in your red. And once you've done that, we're going to put 12 single crochets in the red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You can join with a slip and bring up our white. And now we're going to do 12 single crochets in the white. Now I'm going to join with a slip. I'm going to leave a long tail, and then I'm going to cut off all of my yarns, to which I can then to which I can then seal them together. So if I just knot them up, I'm leaving a long tail so that when I go to join on the next colour, I can do that quite easily. And I can just attach it to these. And I've also given myself something to attach my next colour to when I start working on the legs. So this is ready to stuff with some polyfill or scrap yarn or whatever you wish to stuff your shoe with, and it should look something like this. I hope this is really helpful, and yeah, let me know how you get on. Obviously we're going to need 2 shoes if she's got 2 feet, so we will need to make a second one. So if you rewatch the video, the tutorial for the other foot is exactly the same. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you for the next one.